The next thing we need to look at is a bit of fire scene preservation, once again also from the Chief this year. So there's a few stats around in regards to fire scenes and I guess determining causes. The biggest thing with determining a cause is we're finding a lot more arson or undetermined fires occurring. So within District 24 we have an active team, but quite a small team of fire investigators, but each one of you at the scene are a fire investigator. So the requirements for our fire reporting is to make sure that you find a cause and not just take the landowners or the bystanders' cause for gospel. And the reason being for that is both myself and Andrew Schultz did a fire investigation team leader course not that long ago. And with that, it's about 70% of our fires now being subpoenaed. So information going to court or settling out of court. And of that about 25% of that, about a quarter of the 70%, are actually ended up in court. So the Tangam fire from last year is actually subject to some court type documents at the moment. Was it, I would say, general run-of-the-mill cause with that. And fortunate enough, the captain who looked at the cause was also a fire investigator, but that one's will end up in court, or possibly end up in court. So just bear that in mind. So if you make a determination and you're comfortable with that determination, fine. If you're not sure at all, please call for a fire investigator. But we'll go through a bit of fire scene preservation. So once again, a bit like Brett was talking about photos before for the RDO. Don't be afraid to take photos on the way there. The big thing is don't share them on social media. We've got to actually go and put the fire out, but keep them there as a memory jogger later on. So the actions and observations of the incident controller and the initial responding firefighters are critical in the success of the subsequent investigation into the origin and cause of fires. It is a big thing. About, like I said, 70% of fires in Victoria now are either arson or undetermined or through ill intent of people, so accidental type stuff. So correct observations and actions in protecting, preserving and recording the fire scene. What sort of things we're looking at? Observations en route, number and colour of smoke columns, weather conditions, if any barriers have been placed to prevent the fire brigade's access, log across the track, if gates are open that are normally closed, record details of vehicles and motorbikes leaving the scene, details of any persons who are observed in the area. When you're doing fire suppression, look for the area of origin to establish it, to assess and establish the area of origin on arrival of the initial fire crews. Note the position of the fire front, flanks and backing fire. And that was critical in a fire that we did some investigation to out the Kiwa Valley Highway last year. So the first crews on scene, their observations made it a heck of a lot easier, and it was actually a little bit different to what the people in the paddock were telling us. Note this area by identifying particular trees, street signs, road markers or other features. Do not drive fire appliances across or use straight water jets on the area of origin. Generally the fire will spread from the area of origin, so 9 times out of 10 you actually don't need to put anything on it. Alright, it can burn itself out. Use a minimum amount of water in this area until it is thoroughly examined for a means of ignition. So we have a lot of times where things get washed away. Whatever is black will burn at the time of the initial fire crew's arrival, which include the area of origin and point of origin of the fire. So we'll want to keep that area sealed off. So to protect it, cordon off the area, secure the area to prevent fire appliances, firefighters and onlookers from entering, protect any suspicious items, devices, tyre or footprints located at the scene. Do not drag hose lines through the area. Identify and leave in place any equipment, machinery, vehicles or items that may have caused the fire. Request the fire investigators. Like I said, we've got a small team, but it's quite active, but we've got access to a number of other people throughout Kew. To attend if the origin and cause of the fire cannot be determined, or if suspicious circumstances exist. The fire is deemed suspicious, we'll also request Victoria Police to attend, and fire investigators along with Victoria Police will determine the origin, cause, path, and the impact of the fire, with the findings recorded as part of our investigation report. Recording the scene, the incident controller is responsible to ensure that the appropriate agency is notified relating to the cause of the fire. So if you deem it to be, and if we talk structure fires, deem it to be from electricity or from gas, the Energy Safe Victoria must be notified. if it's a workplace, work cover must be notified. So you've got no choice in that. It's the local butcher shop or whatever it happens to be, and it's a bit of their bad practice or whatever in the local mechanic shop, you're mates with them, you have a legal obligation to report. Information contained in the fire reports are used extensively by the CFA fire investigation section, and if we actually trend and have a look at hotspots. So for those that from the Upper Murray area, we've had a bit of a hotspot around Grania last year. So some good scene preservation allowed us to find some evidence there, and we'll need to watch that area a bit this year. We've actually got that happening a little bit at Chiltern Barn off at the moment.